Welcome back to another series in our module about research. So this time we're going to discuss selecting a research topic. So I hope you listen carefully and you learn something from this module. Again, enjoy and don't forget to subscribe on this channel. We're back and we're going to discuss selecting a research topic. So I would like to ask for apologies since there's a lot of construction going on around the area, so you'd be hearing some of them during the discussion. So anyways, let's start. So a research topic has various characteristics and we will be seeing them today, and then from time to time I would be giving you my inputs and reflections regarding other characteristics that this title or the proposed title should possess. So number one, all research titles must be theory based or relevant to a theory. If not relevant, it should describe exactly the problem that you are conducting or the strategy that you are conducting. It should be embedded directly on the theory that you are presenting, because the theory is the foundation of your research. So this will also be the basis if you are going to approve or disprove the theory, if it is effective or not effective based on the theory. So this would be the reference point of the output of your research. So after conducting the research, you would go back to the theory and try to confirm if the theory was correct, or it needs something to you need to modify part of the theory because it was not it does not complement, or it did not appear in your research. Okay, so aside from theories, concepts are also used as basis of a research. That's why in the research outline you will be seeing part of it which is entitled theoretical/conceptual framework, meaning you can either use theory or concept or both. So how do we differentiate theory from concept? Well, according to a definition, a concept is any idea. So any general thought is already a concept. An idea of an object, an idea of a fruit, an idea of a subject, your idea on math, science, and English are all considered as concepts. While on the other hand, the theory is an underlying explanation of how something works. Aside from this, a theory is also defined as an explanation of a phenomenon that has been repeatedly tested and found consistent across a long span of time. So for instance, the theory of gravity, the theory of germ transmission disease are some of these theories that have already been used and proven throughout time. Another characteristic of a research title is that it must reflect the variables, which is the independent and dependent variable in the research title to be studied. So we are going to further discuss what is the difference between dependent and independent variable later on when I present to you sample research titles in this module. Another characteristic of a research title or a research topic is that it should be relevant or related and aligned with the course required of the degree program that the student is pursuing. So it is either aligned with the field of specialization of the student or aligned in the field of education. So this includes problems encountered in teaching and learning. And then another characteristic of a research title is that the topic should be presented and justified to a panel before proceeding with the actual research, before actually conducting the research and gathering data. So this is part of the research process wherein the research title would be presented to either the advisor or a group of people, which is called the panelists, which are experts in the different fields. So if this is already what we call the oral presentation, experts from the field of statistics, expert in the field of content, experts in the field of grammar would be present during the defense. And last but not the least, the criteria for the selection of the research title should possess the following. Number one, it should be original and new. As much as possible, we have to base our topic on a new strategy that we are testing if our research is in the experimental area. So whether it's quasi-experimental or experimental research, strategies being tested should not have been previously used. If it is, so we can use it in another set of respondents, another set of area or school, but never on the same area with the same strategy. Letter B, or the second one, is significant to education. So since we are in educational research, definitely we should focus on areas wherein related to, relevant to education. The third one is feasible within the time and resources available to the researcher. So in our acronym of SMART, letter T, which is time bound, we should put into consideration the time allotted in order to finish the research. Aside from the time allotted, we should also consider the resources of the researcher that is conducting the research. That is why qualitative research, which is, in my opinion, more expensive than quantitative research, due to the time needed in order to accomplish qualitative. Okay, so this is a sample research title being presented in a graduate school, and it reads as situated learning in a multimedia interface and its cognitive impact on the grade 7 science students. So earlier, I promised that we would be further discussing the difference between dependent and independent variable, which in some research titles are supposed to be present. In this case, the independent variable, which is not affected and can stand alone, would be the situated learning in a multimedia interface. So this is a strategy being tested in this particular research, and the dependent variable is the impact of the strategy on the grade science students. So this is clearly an experimental research that would be tested on two groups, the strategy to be tested on one group, and the other strategy, which will use the conventional teaching method, would be given to the other group. Note on this is that we seldom use, or we do not use, the term experimental and controlled group anymore. So instead of using controlled group and experimental group, in this case, the independent variable, which is situated learning, will be called the situated learning group, and the conventional group will be called non-situated learning group. So please take note of that, especially when you are already writing or conducting your research.